always do what I should. I'd be better if I thought I could. I'm a sucker for adrenaline, every villain is. Everybody trying to change my ways, but I live just to see you break. I'm a sucker for adrenaline, every villain is. You take the high road, I'll take the low. Everyone lies cause everyone knows. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Oh, a little bit bad. Feels good to be a little bit bad. I'll admit I'm a little bit wicked. I belong in the grave I'm digging. I live like a villain is. I come alive when I lose control. Everyone lies just to ease their soul. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Oh, a little bit bad. Baby, we're all monsters, just afraid to show our colors. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Oh, a little bit bad. Feels good to be a little bit bad.
Yo! Patrick deep in thought again. Welcome everyone to another Saturday. Patrick's like, wait, what's going on? Oh, I gotta go live.
heard it. I heard
gotta
the
go
little-
live.
I heard the little
I
clap.
know, that's your
I was like,
reminder that look up.
like, dang it.
Thought I had more time.
Doing something.
Oh, welcome everyone. Yeah. Paul, welcome back. Says it's been a few weeks. Very nice. Jeanette, good morning. Adama. What? I don't know what that was about. Tom said Adama. Like Admiral Adama from Battlestar Galactica? I don't know. All right, everyone. Welcome. If you are new to Guy in a Cube or new to the live stream in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Always love it. Yeah. All right, Patrick, what's up with you? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're all right. You're excited. You had some good things right before the live stream. Are you still messing around with that thing? You're still messing around with it, aren't you?
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave. I didn't perfect the ranges. In the code, like the
Matthias,
visual
he's talking about your
interface,
question.
so-
He's still messing
Yeah.
around with it. You broke him. That's fine. Oh my goodness. All right. Welcome everyone. So shout out to our the members of Guy in a Cube. You help us do what we do here on Guy in a Cube. Thank you so much for it. Speaking of which, James, member for 19 months. Thank you for the support. Saying, yo, I just passed the PL 300 exam. Well, congrats. Yay. Congratulations. That is amazing. Very nice. Very nice. So the members of Guy in a Cube, if you see folks with either a green name, green colored name, or a Guy in a Cube logo next to their name, those are members of Guy in a Cube. So thank you so much for helping us out and supporting us. It's very much appreciated. You just help us do what we do here, and we love all of you. So if you want to learn more about being a member on Guy in a Cube, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below if you're on the YouTube browser piece. And, you can learn more. No commitment required. Thanks for checking it out. It's awesome. And let's see how. So members also hold your question until the halfway mark. Chatmaster C will let you know when. So we will go into member only chat at the halfway mark. And then Robin stumbled to the computer early this morning again. Well, we're glad you did, and we're glad you're here. So amazing. All right, so let's see here. Some of the folks that are new. Let's see. So I see Dr. Tony S is new. Patrick is new. Thank you, Patrick. Paul is new from Australia. Just amazes me every time. Wow. So Newbie I is here again as well. So the folks in Australia, it's 12:30 in the morning for you. You are champions. All right, let's see who else is here. I Love Puppies is new. Ooh, I like that name. I love puppies too. We just got a new puppy
like
recently.
Adam's favorite.
Yes.
You're like Adam's best friend
yes.
now.
I support that. So, yes. Yes. New puppies. Everyone should get a puppy.
Say? What does that sticker?
The sticker?
What does that sticker on your shirt say?
It's hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. For all those good movie fans out there. Let's see here. Oliver is new. Good afternoon to you, sir. Jeanette is new. Let's see who else. I saw a couple more. Brooklyn Buddha is new to the live, but have watched hours worth of our videos. Thank you so much for that. Aisha is new. Let's see here. Dohara Kwai is new from Czech Republic. Welcome. Fernando, a puppy, not 17. I don't judge. Yes, Chewy, House of Dogs. Instead of House of Dragons, we have House of Dogs. It's amazing.
Oh, that's starting up.
It is starting. What, 2 weeks? 1 week? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Let's see if there are any others I missed. I think I got them all. Inconceivable. All yes. Right. Yes. Heidi's got it. Paw beater, inconceivable. Love it. I'm gonna say Jean is new. I'm gonna guess that's more of a French pronunciation. Welcome. All right. I think we got it. Matthew, yeah. So we have a thing where in our household, if we say yes, dear, that means something else. So, I know what I forgot. I forgot to pull up the question thingy. All right. Yes. All right. So questions. Put Q : in front of the question. That will get you queued up in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by to get it lined up. All you have to do is do it once. If you do it more than once, or we have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube, that will put you in a timeout if you spam it. So please, one time's all you need. It gets queued up. We never get to all the questions, so apologies if we didn't get to it. Come back next time, and we'll try again. We try to get to as many as we can. Sometimes we get an interesting discussion, and it takes us a little bit, and that's what happens. And there's Ash barking. There you go. That's the big Great Dane. That's the 200-pound Great Dane barking at something, going out the door. Yeah, Paul. It's like bless your heart, Deep South. Yeah. Texas is Deep South, isn't it? Maybe East Texas.
Yeah.
East Texas.
You're South. You're Deep South, man.
I'm
Houston's
Deep South. Yes.
Houston
is Deep
Conroe.
South.
You're Houston. You're Deep South.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready for the questions? Are you ready?
Let's rock and roll.
All right.
All
right, Matthias. Here we go. Matthias, coming with the first question. How to conditional format when my value is in field parameters? What?
I had already forgot.
This was the whole thing you've been spending the last hour on. How to conditional format when my value is a field parameter including several measures. And each one should have conditional formatting when selected. Ooh, so before we go over to Patrick's machine. When we first saw that and we're both like, wait, does field parameters support conditional formatting? And so we went to we searched. So when you go to Bing, you type Power BI field parameters, the doc came up. We go into limitations. It did not call out conditional formatting as a limitation. So now I will tell you, when Patrick added the field parameter to the values, we clicked on it, we're like, there's no conditional formatting. It doesn't support conditional formatting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a second. Like, there's some options. So, and then Patrick was like, because I was like, there, just do regular conditional formatting. He's like, no, you got to do that on a measure. And I'm like, no. I'm like, just go to all right, Patrick, let's go over to your machine. Let's just show it.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta show you this. I have to show you this. So when we read the question, I was like, you gotta write some DAX for this. That's the first thing I said. You gotta write some DAX. So I'm gonna show you my solution, and then I'm gonna show you the way you should probably do it, which was
my suggestion.
Look, I'm gonna say it. So I created this matrix. And then I created some field parameters. If you don't know what field parameters are, there's videos, there's docs out there. Go check it out. And then, check this out. I wrote some DAX. And basically, I tucked the two measures that I added to the field parameter. So if you have multiple measures, like 20, 30 measures, and the ranges are different on these, you're gonna have to do this for all of them. So I tucked each one of those in variables, and then I wrote switch statements to control my conditional formatting. And I did this for each one. And then there's a function that'll let me know which measure is selected. So you probably can do switch on this if you have more than two. So you can say switch true if selected is this, blah, 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 blah. You can do all these things, right? And so I did that. And then now I will admit, we both couldn't find where you set this conditional formatting up. It was a challenge, but I created the matrix. And we did a search for conditional. Adam's like, search for conditional. And then we landed here in the cell elements. And then you can see on the cell elements, you can conditionally format background, everything. So I click here and I went to field value. I chose the measure that I created and put for values only. Now I have to repeat this for each one of those measures. So if you pay attention, if I click right here, you'll see I chose that one. And then you need to do this for total freight also. But now when I click across those, you can see the conditional formatting applies. And I was like, ha, it works, right? And then Adam was like, but wait, can't we just do this? And so go to the matrix, choose the measure, go to the exact same place I was at, cell elements. You can see how total freight is selected. So this is gonna apply to total freight. Choose this, set up your, however you want to set this up. And then choose the next one and do the exact same thing. And boom, conditional formatting for field parameters, which when you have multiple measures. So Adam's going to do a whole video on this.
You don't need DAX. You don't need DAX.
No, you don't need DAX. You don't need DAX. You don't need DAX.
Overcomplicating it, my friend. Overcomplicating. I know you want to jump to it. You want to, I'm going to do DAX for this, and I'm like, no, just go to just learn the clicks. Just learn the clicks.
DAX can do anything. DAX can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. All right, there was I don't see.
Oh, they're saying my mic volume is too hot.
It's too hot?
Somebody, Chewy said, Fernando says my mic volume.
Okay. Bump it down a little.
I need to increase it.
Increase it? No, hot means you're too loud.
Yeah. No, plus. Patrick mic volume plus, or Adam's minus. Anyway.
Okay.
It says I'm way too low. I don't know, I'm way too low. Anyway.
All right. So, nice. There was a super chat. I'm trying to find it. Where's the super chat?
You know what? It was because I was looking down, typing. and then my screen and my mic's right up there. That's what it is. That's what it is, guys.
All right, why am I not finding this?
It's great. Chat? This is a good one, Matthias. This is a great one. And Adam will do a good job explaining and testing out my DAX and all that kind of stuff. So we literally just did this just like a few minutes ago.
All right, so I cannot find the super chat. But I'm going to read it. I know.
I got it. I see it.
Yeah, I see it too. It's just not coming up in my tool thing, so I can't put it on the screen. I don't know why. 1 second. I'm going to do one more thing here. There it is. I got it. That was weird. All right. Toma, field parameters not available in SQL Server Analysis Services cubes, which is on-prem. Suggest an alternative to name of, please.
I don't have one.
Nope.
There's some videos. But there's some video. Casper wrote a blog post long time ago of doing. Remember we did the dynamic axis stuff with when I did it, and then Casper wrote a nice blog post doing it with DAX.
Yeah.
And so you can actually create a virtualized table, and you have to do some. You got to do some stuff to make it happen. But it's possible. And so, so exactly, Paradisio. So it's, measures with disconnected tables. You could do it. But yeah, it's old school. It really, there you go. Of course, Alex has already posted the thing on. Thanks, Alex.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, so the other thing, and this is just me. Thomas said SSAS cube. So did you mean multidimensional in that case?
Oh, MDX.
So whenever someone says cube, I think multidimensional, but I think generally people just refer to tabular models as cubes as well. So could mean either.
I bet you.
It's probably a tabular model.
I bet you.
Yeah, tabular. Thomas said tabular.
Yeah, tabular. Okay.
Tabular.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like when someone says dashboard and they really mean report. They don't really mean the dashboard object inside of Power BI. So it's the same thing when they say cube in analysis services, they mean tabular. So
yep.
Nice. Evil MDX.
Matthias, MDX is not evil. It's not evil.
It's just misunderstood.
Evil MDX isn't.
It's just
misunderstood. It's misunderstood.
It's misunderstood.
Yeah, it's misunderstood.
All right. Going back to the queue. Igor. All right. Azure Synapse, my fact table is represented with materialized views. Will new data automatically be added, or I need to manually refresh materialized view? There's another thing. Select refresh materialized view, my views, something like this. Don't remember the exact syntax. Okay, so we're going to go over to my desktop. So I went and binged materialized views.com for Synapse. And I came across this amazing documentation about materialized views. I'm going to put that in the chat. So within that doc, so there's a couple things here. Within this doc, it talked about, where was it? Benefits. Requires low maintenance. All incremental data changes from the base tables are automatically added to the materialized view in a synchronous manner, meaning both the base tables and the materialized views are updated in the same transaction, which means you don't have to, it just does it for you. Now, the other thing that's interesting here is if you look over, if you go, there's a link over on the left nav. It says check view overhead. And this was what Patrick was interested in. And so here you can do a DBCC command, which will actually give you like all of the, the overhead and distribution and all that stuff about the materialized view and see what the different items of that. So go check that out.
If you go back to the first thing Adam said, though, if you go back to the very first thing, the table and the view is updated in one transaction. If you know anything about databases, right, relational databases, if I have too many materialized views and I run that update, it can negatively affect performance. So you got to be really careful with materialized views. I did a video on the Synapse on Tuesday, on one of the Tuesdays, about speeding up my Power BI report with materialized views, but I only had one. So you got to be really careful when using those materialized views. I want to go back. Scott put a comment. I have to go back to Scott's comment. Scott said, I can't find it, but he said, MDX is like dark DAX. It was great.
You technically write DAX against multidimensional.
MDX is Darth Vader. It's the Darth Vader of analytical language. Dark Dax. I like it.
I just think it's misunderstood. Oh, man, all y'all. Ugh. All right, John's got a question here. How do you multi-select a slicer in a Power BI app on an iPhone? Seems to work fine in desktop on computer. There was something I don't have.
Don't you hold and press?
I thought it was hold and press.
I think you just hold and.
I thought it was hold and press.
I think it's just hold and press.
I don't have a report I can easily try it on, but Fernando says make a bookmark. No, I'm pretty sure it's hold and press. I think it's hold and press. I'd have to try it though.
Hang on, I got something right here.
I remember. All right. Hang on.
It's not hold and press. You got to enable it. You'll have to enable the multi-select on the slicer.
Wait, what do you mean?
I can't hold and press. So you know how you can say multi-select? You allow multi-select on the slicer. So it looks like you might have to enable multi-select.
There's a doc. Wait, there's a release plan item. Hang on. It's supported. Wait.
It's supported now?
Multi-select in mobile reports. You can select more than one data point in your report and highlight the results. That doesn't talk about slicer.
That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got to enable
multi-select
on the slicer.
Multi-select, yeah. Okay. So if you enable multi-select on the slicer, though, that works?
I'm going to have to do it, but my guess is yeah.
Okay, well. If I had $1 for every time someone had a guess.
I'll write it down. I'll test it. I'll let you know.
Okay. All right, Gaurav. Hi, is there any way to implement input box using parameters in live connect? Wait, what? Implement input box using parameters
like
in live. For like a live connected, I don't think you can do. You can't do those. You can't do the parameters with live connections.
Well, what if I created? So what if? Hear me out, okay? And I don't know if this is possible, but what if I created my measure? No, you can't do parameters. You can't do it.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do parameters.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can because I can use a variable in my DAX, right? I can use a variable in my DAX, and then I can have that table just like I create my what if. So if I create my what if, I create the table and make that a slicer.
Yeah, but he wants.
Hear me out, right?
Yeah, but Gaurav wants a text box that he can type things in.
You can't do text boxes. We can't do text boxes in Power BI.
Yeah.
Right? You got to do a Power App for that.
Yeah. Hey, look at that, Fernando coming in like right before you said that. You need a Power App for input. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Alex tried it already.
Alex got it. No multi-select on slicer on mobile. I tried. Oh, I tried. Yes, good request for Maya. Yes, go to ideas.powerbi.com and get that in. I'm sure it already exists.
Yeah.
What if, so Kevin says, what if you do a text box? Well, you can't input on a text box. That's like a read-only thing, though.
Yeah, you
like,
can't.
It's not an input field.
Right.
So, yeah.
You can't write back. No.
Nope. Yeah, the Power App is the way that you have to do that, but then you got to, but how do you, that gets weird. I don't know how that would.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah. What I would love to go back on that, Gaurav, is like what's the scenario you're trying to implement with that, right? So like there may be other options for you as well. Yeah, Alex already found that. I knew, but I figured that was out on ideas. All right, Ali. Ali's got a question. Why Microsoft didn't update Power BI report server as well as Power BI desktop? So, hang on. I'm gonna pop a link into the chat. I'm gonna pop 2 links in there. One of them is a blog post that Chris Finland wrote a while back, just about the overall what's going to happen going forward, like kind of the roadmap for Power BI report server. The other thing I'm going to drop is the support timeline for Power BI report server. So they do 3 updates a year. So it's January. It's usually January, May, and September. And so the last one was May 2022. So hopefully in September we get an update. and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So it's always behind. It doesn't come out every month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So that's
See,
why.
look.
What?
Yeah. See, Evan is taking my approach on that whole input thing. See, he said it works.
What?
Evan, I can't pronounce his last name for input. I'm going Patrick's route. Created a table. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah.
But you can't do a text box. You can't just hand type it in.
Oh, no.
So it's got to be. You have to pre-think about what it is you want to go do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
How many people use? I'm just curious. How many people are using analysis services, Azure analysis services, on-prem analysis? I'm just curious because I never do any videos on it. Just live connecting to analysis services. I never do any videos live connecting to.
You know where else I can live connect to?
Oh, okay.
Data sets in Power BI.
Boy.
Why you got to exclude those?
And we move on. And we move on.
Yeah. Matthias, no one's on-prem. I think Pa Beater would argue with you on the on-prem bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a question. All right. How do we add the slicer input filter to a hyperlink?
Yeah, to a hyperlink. Yeah.
For a column so that when I navigate to the other subreport, I can have the same slicer filter. Oh, that's sync slicers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So
Adam's the king of sling slicers, man. Adam's is the king.
Sling slicers? Did you say sling slicers?
Sync.
I heard sling slicers, and I'm like, what is that? So one thing you can do here, so like if I have, I've got my slicer panel here. So let's say select year. When you select that slicer, if you go to view and you go to sync slicers, then you can control which pages this slicer will both be visible on and what it syncs with. So I could technically put this on the state detail page, and I could say, don't show it. I just want whatever selection I have here to carry over into that other page. And so you can kind of do combinations. So this is a good way also. I think, Patrick, did you do a video on this where you use the sync slicers in the report page tooltip to affect the report page tooltip? So you didn't actually show it in the report page tooltip, but the slicer selection on the parent page was affecting the report page tooltip.
Remember, because it wasn't working. I was like, why is this not working? And you're like, you got to sync it. You got to sync it.
You got to sync it. You got to sync it. So that's how you would do that. And the way you configure is you have to make sure the slicer that you want to do this on is selected, and then you can configure. So you have to do it for each slicer that you want to do that with. I think Amundeep is referring to a subreport.
Subreport? What do you mean subreport? Talking about paginated
same
subreport?
filters. So subreport would be another page, so like a drill through page or drill down. Yeah, drill through page on the same thing. There is a concept of cross report drill that you can do, but you can't do sync slicers across actual PBIXs or whatnot. So yep. So cool. Yeah, check out sync slicers. If it's like report pages in the same thing, then you can do it. All right. John's got one. Measure allocates. Wait. What?
Keep going. Alex posted something, but we'll come back to it. Keep going.
Oh, I'm reading this thing. Sorry. Click your profile bubble setting. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Well, I knew there was a multi-select in there, and that's what there was a preview thing that came out like in May or whatever, or it came out in March or May. I saw that. When I was reading it though, it looked like it was in the context of like report pages or not. It didn't call out slicers specifically, so that's why I was asking, did that work with slicers also? I don't know. So I saw that item on the release wave that had already come out. So yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cool. All right, John. Measure allocates salary across days. Measure allocates salary across days. How do I make it so it shows 0 when a slicer is filtering out the person's department instead of blank?
Gotta do it in your measure.
Yeah.
Gotta do it in your measure. Gotta do it in the DAX. There's 1,000,003 blog posts about why you should and should not show zeros in your measures, but you got to do it in your DAX.
So by default, it's not going to show it. It's going to show blank.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's where, so look for, what's the function I'm thinking of here? There's a function that was...
Is blank?
No, not is blank. I mean, sure. Yeah, coalesce will do something, but there was one, it's when you're in the hierarchy.
Oh, is in scope.
Yes, is in scope. There you go. Yes. So yeah, go. Yeah, SQL BI's got a bunch of articles on that. I don't know, Alex.
I'm starting to spend too much time with DAX. I'm starting to spend too much time with DAX. Here's a good one I just posted on show a 0 instead of a blank by the SQL BI guys. Unless Alex already posted it.
Okay, let's get one more question. I know we're bumping up against the clock, and so Jeanette, we're going to get your question, and I love this. It's using the path function, and I have an awesome experience with path contains that was wonky. I am playing around with parent-child hierarchies using path functions, and I want to find a way to select or highlight all items in the path.
Ooh.
So what you have to do when you say highlight all, so I don't know if you're thinking about conditional formatting or whatever, but what you have to do so there's different ways you can do this. One approach is to use the function path contains, because then you can go actually search for those items, and then if that's true, then do whatever it is that you're trying to highlight. So then you can do conditional formatting when path contains equals true. So if you're actually using that path content piece. Now the challenge is, and this is what I ran into, I've got a video out there that talked about this, where if you're working with larger scale data, it could be slow because you're working with text values and it's high CPU intensive. And so I'm using synoptic design and I want to capture all. I have hundreds of items, and path contains would be a lot. Well, so how are you capturing the hierarchy is the question. There's two ways you're going to do it. Either you have a single column that actually has the path broken by a pipe symbol, so like 1 pipe, 2 pipe, whatever, and that defines the hierarchy. That's what path contains is going to go off of. The other option that you have is you actually have the levels, like a different field for each level, a different column for each level, and then it's just a simple filter, right? But then you write DAX off of that. So yeah, it does depend, Kevin. It depends. But those are your two options. Now, I would say the simple filter route, where you have a column with those values, and you have to pre-calculate that out, so it's in your table. When you just say, like, hey, is it in this column, is it in this column, is it in this column, that's a simple filter that's going to perform much better than if you're doing the path contains over the single text column. So that's how you're going to do that. Cool.
It's a tricky one. This is a tricky one.
Yeah, just
tough.
the path contains, man, that's going to be a CPU overhead, though. So as long as it's not a lot of data, it should be fine. And I say not a lot of data, but like, do this on 1 million rows, and it was complex. It caused some CPU burn. Which I would say is not a lot of data, but it was, yeah. So simple filters will rule all on that. So. And then just do your DAX and conditional formatting based on what the output of that is. All right, cool. We are at the halfway mark, which means...
Actually, we're a little past
I
the
know.
halfway mark.
I was talking about path. I got excited. All right. So we are going to go to members only chat. This is one of the benefits of being a member. So we'll kick over. Everyone can still watch and learn, but only members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Super chats always take priority. So if you do have a burning question we didn't get to, apologies, we never get to all the questions. Come back next time. But if you do have a burning question, you can submit a super chat. Make sure you type in the question before you hit the button, and then that will skip the queue. That is true throughout the entire stream. So, all right, let's go bump over to member-only chats.
This path thing is a good question. I'm still thinking about it.
The path? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's easy.
I'm just thinking about it.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I did a video on it.
I know.
All right, we are in member only. So one of the benefits of being a member is you can pre-submit questions. And so we did have one pre-submitted question. So if you're at the visitor or producer tier, you can pre-submit those. So John came in and saying, look, my company has Power BI Pro licenses for everyone. The executive teams want me to create Excel CSV reports that can automatically be sent via email or dropped into an FTP folder for external entities. That's the key here. For external people who probably don't have any Power BI license. I see a lot of options on YouTube that involve R code, Power Automate, DAX variables. I don't know how DAX variables play into exports, but okay. Is there an easy way to set up an Excel CSV subscription in the Power BI service? So I'm going to say it depends here. So the first piece of this is that you're going to external people. So when you do subscriptions, so when you subscribe, you can subscribe others to a subscription that will get the output of whatever's there. The challenge is that requires a premium per user or premium capacity, right? So they either have to have a pro license, a PPU license, or it has to be, the workspace has to be backed by premium capacity in order to subscribe others. I'm assuming, the way you worded the question, that you do not have premium capacity. And so if you do not have premium capacity, well, now we've got to look at something like Power Automate to go and do that. So and that depends on, do you have the licensing for Power Automate? From Power Automate perspective, you can call the export, which will generate the PDF or CSV file, and then at that point, drop that. You can Power Automate. You can put that wherever you want. If you want to stick it in FTP, if you want to put it in a folder somewhere, whatever you want. So, yep. So I would definitely go the Power Automate way on that. It's probably the easiest and most flexible on that. So, what do you think, Patrick?
Nope, you're right. We talked about this one.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
you talked about that.
Yep. So yeah, it's just when you're dealing with external stuff, it gets a little wonky, and that's where it really depends on from a licensing perspective. So just go Power Automate. Save yourself some heartbreak. Cool. All right, going to the queue, Fernando. It's a two-parter. Here we go, Patrick. The cascading slicer technique. I'll just stop right there. Bidirectional, all the things. You're good to go. I kid.
I saw this on Twitter, I think.
So adding a measure, int not is empty, sales.
Yeah.
Then apply filter equals 1 doesn't work if instead of using a slicer, I use a chart to cross filter.
Yeah,
all
I haven't
pages. I don't have a specific question besides why.
Yeah.
So
good
wait,
point,
cascading
Fernando.
slicer technique. Adding a measure. So what's the? I'm trying to figure out the.
So if I have, let's say I have sales territory, right, and then I have employee, and then I choose sales territory. It only shows the employees. When I do I call it the Alberto. It's the Alberto. When I use the Alberto to do my cascading, and so it goes through the fact.
That's not efficient.
Because I'm using that measure to check. And it filters it, all right, instead of setting up bidirectional and back and forth. And I noticed that when I was creating the video, I tried to put it in a chart and select it, and it didn't filter. I think it's just the way it's what's happening behind the scenes with the DAX and everything, but I got to go look at it, Fernando.
Right.
It's a great point.
I think I'm missing something. So we're talking about visual level filters on the slicers, right, to control the cascading piece, right?
Yeah, but what he's saying, instead of using the slicer, you create a chart and you put measures on that chart, and then when I select it, it doesn't filter the slicers. But slicers don't get filtered by visuals.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So you'd have to, you potentially have to account. Well, they could.
A slicer can filter a visual?
No. Well, you mean
a visual can filter a slicer? Yeah. No, it can't. No.
I'm trying to think about like the interaction stuff, and because you can control, so it's only for the slicers. So yeah, it doesn't go the other way. Otherwise, why would you need the visual level slicer or the visual level?
Fernando,
filter?
I don't think a visual can filter a slicer. The slicer does the filtering. A visual can filter another visual, but well, besides the slicer.
Right.
Besides the slicer.
Yes.
We talked about this before because I was trying to write some DAX to do it, and I think we talked to Phil about it, and it's just the way it behaves.
Yeah. And then from that perspective, the why, I don't know. That's just how they did it.
Can you just bubble up Williams? I know it's. Can you just answer his question about pre-submit questions? William Miller.
Yeah. So to pre-submit, so if you go to the community tab, every once in a while, I'll post it after this live stream. Every once in a while, I post a message there on how to pre-submit the question. There is a process. And so it is specific to visitor. Oh, look at that. It is specific.
Alex.
Yeah. It is specific. And one went to Chatmaster C. To pre-submit the question, you have to be at the visitor or producer tier. So if you're just at the supporter tier, the pre-submitted doesn't apply. But go to the community tab within like an hour after the live stream. I'll post something there to give the instructions. So thanks, Patrick, for calling that out. And then Alex, oh my gosh, Alex gifted 5 memberships.
I got chills, Alex.
So that went to Chatmaster C. I'm sure she appreciates it. It went to Tron. It went to Blake. Went to Jadwiga. Wow, Jadwiga's been around for a while. So congrats. And then JL. Awesome. Welcome everyone. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Look, Chatmaster C is a new member. I'm glad she's supporting us. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's amazing. All right. Can bookmark ID be used in DAX functions? Nope. For example, switch to do chart switch. Nope. It's a report level item, and it doesn't transfer down into the DAX piece. That's not even an it depends. I knew I wasn't doing enough to support them. That's a true statement.
Paul's got an interesting comment.
So
yeah.
So sorry, no, that's not something you can do. That doesn't work. So
Paul's got an interesting comment. Can you bring up Paul's comment?
Hang on, I'm getting there. Also, William, thank you for upgrading to visitor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now you can pre-submit a question.
Sorry, man.
All right, Paul said you can filter a slicer based on a measure. Right, that's the visual level filter.
Yeah.
Like a row count, which could be affected by a visual. Would it?
I don't know. I'm gonna try
that's
this.
the question.
That's why I asked you to bring it up.
Because it depends
Paul.
on the filter context of what's there. I don't know if it would or not.
Yeah,
that's the whole question. Is the filter so I don't think that's true, because if that were true, then if you just had a slicer and let's say you had the marvelous pie chart, you selected on a slice of the pie, that would. Chris said supporting.
Chris Wagner saying you could do it.
Wait,
I don't know.
I don't know that's what he says. All right, we got to try that. Because I'm like, why? All right, I don't know. All right. Alex said, thanks for showcasing the deep end of Power Query and M, and I met a lot of new friends.
That was you,
I saw
man.
the comments, man. That was bananas.
That was all you, Alex. That was all you, my friend. That was
I
great
did
video.
love the Easter eggs that Alex has in that video is next level.
Release the Meckham.
Release the
Meckham.
Yes. Chris said it's janky on the slicer thing. It's janky.
Okay.
All right, James got a question. I passed the PL300. Congrats again. Which exam should I take next? Is it the Alex? Keep me honest here. Is it the PL500? Is it PL500 or is it DP500? Is it DP or PL? I think it's DP.
I think it's DP.
DP500. That would be the next one, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, DP500. There you go. Chat's coming in. Backing me up. Love it. Love it. Nice. And then Alex dropping a link to the DP500. So yeah, go check that out. All right, Heidi. Here we go. Is there a pragmatic way? She's all about the developer stuff. I love it. Is there a pragmatic way to pull out all of the Power Query definitions from all reports? I got reports with gateway to an on-premise data source, SQLDB. I want to know what objects they're all using inside the database. Wait.
Oh. Hey. If you go to Elegant BI and you go to Michael Kowalski has a
Alex
tool.
actually just gave a DMV.
Oh.
You can go do.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, there you go.
Now,
I didn't know that.
so here's the well. So I mean, so Heidi said in from all reports, but I'm assuming Heidi you meant from data sets. So because that's where the Power Query is going to be anyway. So yeah, there you go. There's the DMV. Bam, bam. And it is only supported via XMLA. So keep going, Patrick, with your Elegant BI, because if you don't have XMLA or Premium,
he's got a tool that extracts out the metadata for the model, all the model metadata. But again, if you can connect to it, or you connect with the XMLA endpoint. But if she's got a lot, I would probably use this DMV against the workspace.
So the other thing there to think about is if you don't have XMLA, regardless of Michael Kowalski's method or the DMV that Alex pointed out, you got to go through each PBIX file and kind of you're gonna have to crack it a little bit. So that's not ideal. Okay, so Heidi's saying she's just using it she just downloads them and grabs it out of it. Okay, yeah. So at that point, it'd have to be running in order to run the DMV. Michael Kowalski's thing, I think, is also requires it to be running.
Yes.
But what you can do, if you crack the PBIX inside there, and this is completely unsupported, but inside of there, I believe it has all the Power Query stuff in there. I'd have to go look if the definition, because the JSON, I think, is in there for the model, I believe. I'd have to go look again. But you should be able to go get it from there. So, yep. So the answer is should be yes, you can. It depends on,
All right, that's good. That's
how,
good.
How you're
that's
getting
good.
It. Right.
$3,
right?
Kevin. $3, Kevin.
Yes. Oh yeah, Kevin's also saying PBI tools will help you crack the PBIX. Is that Rui's thing or is that someone else's? I forget.
I'm not sure. But if you just rename it to zip, if you just rename it to
rename it to
zip,
that's what I was asking James. I was like, I think that's Rui Romano's one of his tools. So yep, cool, nice. All right, Donald. Uh oh.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what the first Power BI data marts use auto aggregations. No.
I've never heard that, Donald. I've never heard that. If you know something different than us, but I've never heard that.
No. So the challenge here, at least not today. So the data set that gets auto generated with data marts, it's limited on what you can do with it after the fact, and aggregations is not one of those things that's currently supported with it. So it's just a true direct query model from a data mart perspective. So if that's something you're interested in, go to ideas.powerbi.com. I'm sure as we go into the future, there will be updates to features in data marts. I'm not aware of anything that's coming. So,
but Donald, if you want to direct query that endpoint that comes with data mart and then use Power Query to build your own aggregations and import those, then you can use manual aggregations. I mean, good.
Yeah, and avoid the model that's created. Yeah.
You
can still do it, just not with the model that gets auto created with.
Oh, Bogdan.
Data
There's
marts.
Bogdan. Bogdan answered the question for us.
Bogdan's here. Bogdan, it's good to see you. I gave him a little nudge not too long ago. Glad you made it, Bogdan. Look at that. We got some Synapse stuff in here and data marts. And you missed, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. There was a Synapse materialized view question. And we nailed it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Very cool. All right, Laura. Let's see here. My data has GUIDs for all ID columns.
Yes. You could stop. You could
Is it
stop.
worth swapping it? Yes.
You could stop.
Yes.
You could
100%.
stop.
This is not even an it depends. That's 100% yes.
No. Swap them out. Swap them out, Laura. Swap them out. But because you got to think about it. All the GUIDs are unique. I know the integer
strings.
columns are unique.
And they're strings.
And there you go. Because if I have unique integer columns, I may not build a dictionary. But if I have GUIDs, I'm gonna build a dictionary every time. And it can't compress those things, right? It cannot compress those GUIDs because they're all unique. So the cardinality on those things is gonna equal the number of rows in the table. Yes, please, Laura, swap them out. Swap them out. Swap them out.
Yeah. And then, every day, I tell people this all the time, that every day I learn something new. Matthew apparently learned something new too, which is great. That's why we're all here,
GUIDs are unique.
trying to learn. I'm being sarcastic there as well. But
Don't do
yes,
it.
yes.
No, Laura.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes, Laura, Dataverse, all the things. Yeah.
Talk to Scott.
Don't get
Dataverse.
Scott started.
Yeah.
He loves GUIDs. He loves GUIDs and Dataverse too.
But so go post Chris's message about the surrogate key. The challenge that people do, Chris, look up surrogate key at James Bartlett. Just put that up.
James Bartlett.
Yeah.
You said Chris.
No, Chris Jones said look up surrogate
okay.
key.
Yeah.
So the challenge people make though is when they build their data warehouse, they do introduce a surrogate key. A surrogate key is an auto-generated key inside the data warehouse, but they still bring in the natural or the alternate key from the source, which may be the GUID, and they still load that up into the model. You don't even need that for anything. So people make that mistake of using that thing there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right, even if when you do the conversion, just leave them out.
Yeah.
Just leave them out.
Look at
They make
James,
no
or
sense.
look at Tom's comment. Save more than 50%
look
of
at
the
there.
size of my data set by replacing him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there was so James also put in there, like, is there a canonical technique for how would you, Patrick? How would you swap out those GUIDs to an int?
How would I swap out the GUIDs to an int?
Yeah. So if that's the
if it was
identifier
me,
for a given row.
Yeah, I would do that through my ETL process. I would. So when I'm doing the lookup in my ETL process to see if that item exists, if it doesn't exist, I just create a new surrogate key in my data warehouse, and I never ever pull that thing into it. It's a video coming. Stay tuned. On the Data Tuesday, we have a video coming that's going to show you how to do it.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, it was the surrogate queen.
And don't use float for measures. That's right, man. I love these people. Don't use float. Don't use float.
Yes, and don't use float. They all float down here.
Yeah, man, this is great. This is great today.
Yep. Yeah,
good
Matthew
live
coming in
stream.
also. Coming in with the index column
Yes.
for surrogate key, lookup,
Yep.
repeat, rinse and
Yep.
repeat. And
Yep,
then let
look
your
up, rinse,
ETL
repeat,
process
look up.
do its thing.
Yep. Look up, rinse, repeat.
This is why you don't just take a transactional system and just plop Power BI on top of it, right? You want to do, you need to do some stuff there. Like, that's not a successful strategy. So what was we saw that one example last week of the model.
Which one?
It was like 100 tables and many to many. It was 100% direct query
relationships.
and many to many over everything, and wondering why it was slow. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was a transactional database layout. It wasn't like a data warehouse or like a star schema or anything like that. And that was bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one more thing on this before we leave. Now,
Are we leaving?
what's gonna happen? Am I still there?
You're still there.
So what'll happen though is if you change your source system, and those GUIDs go to something else, you're going to have a challenge with the data warehouse, because now everybody gets a new key. So you don't have a way to map that. You don't have that natural key anymore. So trying to map that to the old and the new and replace them out could be a challenge. So you got to think about this. You got to think about it. There's lots to think about. Yeah. There you go.
Also, Patrick, close the door in your office. I'm hearing noise. So, all right. Next question. Where is the best practice to install the Data Gateway standard mode in order to schedule report refresh in the service? We are now in transition, I'm assuming, from Power BI report server to the service. So, in terms of best practice for the gateway, the one thing I will point you to, I'm going to the docs. There is a guidance doc on there about, where is it? Admin. Gateway sizing.
Okay.
So that's the one doc I could point you to. That'll give you some, it kind of gives you ideas about what you need and where to put it. And, so I would start with that. So in terms of like what you actually need, that's the starting point. You want to, the whole goal is to reduce latency between the gateway and your source, and then potentially the gateway and the service. And then after that, in terms of the question we get a lot is, well, how big of a gateway do I need, or the VM that's supporting the gateway? And that's an it depends, because it depends on your load. It depends on how much you're putting through the gateway. And so I've seen some customers where they say, I just want one gateway for all the things, and it's a large enterprise. I've seen other enterprises where they've got different gateways for like different business units, and or for specific projects, right, to isolate certain things. So those are things you'll have to consider in terms of sizing and cost and all of those items. So
the GUID wars. Begun the GUID wars have.
Yeah. So Kevin made a comment here. Where is it? Close to the source as possible, or as close to the source, and use at least 2 for production in a gateway cluster. And when we say close, it needs to be like 6 inches. That's how far apart you want to get it.
But you know what? And be proactive in monitoring your gateway. So when you initially set it up, it may work just great, and you start adding a lot of load to it. And mentioning Rui again, Rui has a really neat, it's cool gateway monitoring tool, and the report for it, I think Chris Hamill helped them with the report. I'm not sure, but he said I think it was Chris. The report is amazing, so definitely take a look at that. But proactively monitor your gateway.
Yeah. Wait, there was something.
What?
Oh, so Heidi said, watch out for personal gateways as well. I know a lot of enterprise organizations like disable personal gateways altogether.
Oh.
So that's an option for you that you can, from a tenant admin perspective, is you can disable personal gateways. You have to do it through PowerShell though. You can't do it through the Power Platform Admin Center directly.
Oh my god!
All right,
is it GUID or is it GUID? Is it GUID?
GUID or GUID?
I don't know.
I don't judge, Scott. I mean, you know, it's like potato. It's fine. I know what you mean. It's like GIF or GIF. Like, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
It's whatevs.
Oh wait.
GUID. Chris says GUID. GUID. You don't like GUID? Rhymes with squid.
Okay.
No?
Let's go.
Daph's got one. 2-parter. I'm trying to create a measure that captures a max value of an aggregate quotient, a measure in the model, and run this 4 times. Trying to create a measure that captures. Okay. He said, Daph said, the trick is that I want to have the max value only each time and capture. Wow. Capture that number in a measure when it runs again. So when you say runs again, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like you can't maintain state. Like if you're already in the measure, like you've got like kind of local state, like through variables, you could do it that way. But
I can say half it,
right,
half it. right?
But if you come in again, like on another query, like there's no state maintained in that. So I don't know. I don't know
what that means.
what it is you're actually trying to. Fernando coming in with like official. That's not law. It's raining on my parade. So Daph, I'm not. I don't know if you're looking for like what the whole runs again. I need context on that. Well, but refresh has nothing to do with a measure.
Because if you're just trying to half it 4 times,
we're saying a measure.
if you're trying
though,
to
right?
half it 4 times in the same measure, yeah, piece of cake,
measure
right?
measure has nothing to do with refresh because this is gonna be at runtime, not on processing. So if you cannot maintain state, then it's not possible. Yeah, you can't maintain state outside of the measure, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yep. Cool. All right. I was glad I double clicked on that one. All right. So Chris said, how do you crack the PBIX files now? It used to just be renamed to zip. Yeah, it still is. So hang on.
I think that doesn't work anymore.
Well, let's try it. Let's go to my machine.
I'm gonna go try it.
I'm doing it right now on stream. Let's create copy. All right. PBIX. Zip. Yes. And then double click. And then there's the contents of the zip file. It still works.
Yep.
Still works. It's there. It's metadata. It's all the different stuff. There's the data model. It's all good. Maybe, I don't know. Did you ZIP?
I don't know.
I don't know. It works.
So let me say this though. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Well,
just leave it alone.
It's not supported, so.
Just leave it alone.
Not
just leave it
supported.
alone.
Not
You're gonna break
supported.
something in your model, and then you're gonna be angry and said Adam told you to go and do this, and then you're not gonna be able to fix it. Please don't do it.
Wait. Alex, I need. Wait. Crack the zip.
In
and
Missouri,
you could go to jail for
jail.
that. All right. Well, pretty sure that's in most places, not just Missouri.
See, look at what Chewy says. Hey, you missed that when I said it. Adam told you. Adam told you.
It's not supported. Oh boy.
One more.
One more.
Do we have
Let's
time
do
for
one more.
one more?
Yeah, Paul.
Okay.
Paul's got. We'll get Paul's. All right. What's an easy way to copy visuals, filters, and the visual settings from one report to another? Copy and paste. Well, that'll copy the visuals. And the settings for the visual, although not all settings of the visual will copy over. Is there an equivalent to ALM for visuals? Nope. Copy and paste. That's
Nope.
pretty much it. Now, the unzipping, rezipping, that is not supported. Oh, there's a lot. That's been like the theme of the stream today. Like, crack the zip. We need to make a shirt that says crack the zip.
Crack the zip.
Or don't crack the zip. Like, maybe crack the zip with the whole... oh my gosh. But yeah, you would have the report. It's just a JSON. It's like a JSON file. So you could figure that out and paste it, but it's not. It's also really complicated. Also, if the format changes of any of that, then that breaks whatever you're doing. So copy and paste is the only real way to copy visuals from one report over to another. But I will tell you that it doesn't. I'm almost positive that not all of the settings are copied over. So like if you have conditional formatting stuff on there, I don't think that gets put over. Yeah, there are definitely some things that don't run over, I believe, which would be interesting. So it's like, hey, what are those? And Scott paid for a license for WinZip. People did that? Or like WinRAR?
I thought it was free.
WinRAR was the other one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, WinRAR. Right.
Yeah, WinZip. Yeah, the whole, once that was just embedded in Windows for the zip files, like WinZip was
It's
like,
huge.
No. All right, everyone.
We're out of business.
We are. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Scott was the one that floated WinZip as a company. All right, everyone. We made it to the end of another stream. We did not get through all the member questions, by the way. There were still a couple in the queue.
Sorry.
Apologies. We'll get them next time. Also, we're coming up into September. There's some conferences coming up, so be sure to check out Power Platform Conference. I forget the name of the one in Chicago. Is that Data Insight Summit? Or
Data Summit? Data Insight Summit?
Data Insight Summit. Yeah, so there's conferences coming up. We have a workshop at Power Platform Conference. So Alex Powers, myself, and Patrick. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be bananas.
The day after the summit.
Jason and John have a workshop at Power Platform Conference as well. So lots of good stuff going on there. I'm
pretty sure Scott's going to be.
Scott's going to be there.
If you want to meet Scott,
Scott's going to be at Power Platform. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to Data Insight Summit. While Lauren from Matthew's team is going to be there. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people from the CAT team that are going to be there, as well as
Chris.
Other
We
folks.
are going to SQL Pass.
We are going to
SQL Pass.
Yep. So lots of good stuff, and then we'll be in Europe. It's official. We're going to be in Europe in October. Data Mines and Techorama. We're going to be there. Mid-October. Looking forward to seeing all the Europe friends. It's going to be bananas. Fernando, I don't know that people sign autographs anymore. People like to take selfies. Although I argue that they're not selfies because someone else is taking the picture for them. But yeah, whatever.
Fernando,
it's like GUID versus GUID. It's the same thing. So yes.
I'll sign.
Yes. There was once someone asked me for an actual autograph and we did it. So yeah. So anyway, looking forward to seeing everyone in person at those conferences, and looking forward to seeing everyone on the next live stream. Power Platform is in Orlando, Florida. Universal. It's going to be amazing. Harry Potter. Let's do it. All right, everyone. We'll see ya.